I just got back from a morning flying session and look what was waiting for me when I got home. This is courtesy of Banggood. I thank them for sending this for review. This is the XK A280 Sub-250g Brushless powered P-51D 560mm. Let's look at some of the specs because I have been waiting so long for a brushless micro warbird that's sub 250 gram, around this size, 560mm wingspan. So the motor is an 1806 2000 kV. The prop is a 6-inch 4-blade prop. I don't know what the pitch is. I held different props up to it. It looks to me like it's a 3-inch pitch, but I can't swear to it. It's got 4 servos, 2 independent aileron servos, which I really like. Those should be able to center the ailerons much better than the single servo with the rigging between the 2 control surfaces. So the wingspan's 560mm, which is 22 inches. I tested failsafe. Failsafe actually works on this plane. Now it takes almost a full 3 seconds for it to kick in, but I powered it up. I ran the motor up. I had a full aileron stick put into it, shut off the transmitter, and started counting, and by the time I got to 1003 it shut off. So you should not have a flyaway with this. My all-up weight without the bomb pods, because it comes with a pair of bomb pods, with the landing gear on it, with the stock battery in it, was 224 grams. It specifies that the all-up weight is 230 grams, so I'm guessing that with the 2 bomb pods it will be right there at 230 grams, so that is accurate. The gyro supports 6G 3D. It's got LED lights all around it. In 6G mode, it does have rudder mixing with the ailerons, but it's very subtle. So I don't think that it's going to induce any type of tip stall on this plane with the way they've got the rudder mixed in. It's so subtle. I think all it's going to do is provide nice coordinated turns with it. So anyway. The transmitter, the calibration is the same for this plane as all the rest of them. You hold the sticks down and out on the bottom corners to recalibrate it. The top left-hand shoulder button is for your light control. You press it once, it turns them on. You press it twice, and it flashes them. You push it a 3rd time, and it shuts them off. This button on the lower right hand or left hand shoulder is for your dual rate, for high and low rate. Your 6G 3D button is right here on the right hand, lower right hand shoulder, and then it has a 6G senior mode, which I think is supposed to be like just wind mitigation mode for the gyro. I'll have to test that once we get it up in the air. But those are the functions. It takes 6 AA batteries for the transmitter. Alright, so you get the plane, you get the bomb pods, you get the manual, everything that is covered in the manual. It's well written. And even, this plane, the assembly of this plane, everything is bolt together. It's not glued together. So you could have this, you could charge up the battery. The assembly will take you about 10 to 15 minutes. I love the bolt together planes rather than having to glue it. That way, if you have the weather, you can get it out and in the air the same day that you get it. All right, it comes with a screwdriver. It comes with a prop wrench. It comes with a series of screws. It comes with an Allen wrench. It comes with a spare 4-blade prop, and it comes with the balance charger, the stock battery it comes with, and I think you can get a 1 or 2 battery version. I always recommend you get the one that has the most batteries with it because it's typically less expensive to do it that way than buy it later. It is a fully maxed, it's a 2S 600 milliamp hour LiPo. And the weight on this is 30 grams. I weighed it. All right, so the hatch for the battery, it's got a spring latch on it. So just pull that back and then you can pull the cover off of it. I'm going to go ahead and crank this up, put the battery in it and crank it up. I've seen some reports of people who have flown this who have stated that it's kind of tail heavy, so I'm going to push my battery all the way forward. It fits in there nice and snug. You do have room to move the battery fore and aft to adjust your CG. And I will have to see when I go out and fly it where I like the CG located. Okay, so as you can see, it's got lots of lights, and I think that the light control only works in 6G mode. But if you press the button once, now it flashes. Hold it down, and that turns them off. Okay, and the gyro doesn't activate until you throttle it up. Okay, so now the gyro is active. You can see, if you can see on camera, whenever I tilt it, the ailerons come up. If I move it, if I yaw it, the rudder moves. And if I pitch it down or pitch it up, the elevator moves. And then if I put it into 6G mode, and then move, and the light on the transmitter will flash when you're in 6G and 3D mode instead of 6G mode. So now if I move the ailerons, I don't get any movement on the rudder. And it looks to me like in 3D mode you get wind mitigation. It doesn't auto level, but it looks to me like you do get wind mitigation with it. Not much movement in the rudder at all. And then if I change the rates on it, you can see my ailerons are moving much more. My elevator's moving much more. And the rudder's moving just a little bit more. So anyway, let me go ahead and show you that the failsafe works on this. So I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to throttle it up a little bit. I'm going to put in full aileron, and then I'm going to shut off the transmitter. 1001, 1002, 1003. So it takes about 3 seconds, but at least you're not going to have a flyaway with it. And then I turn the transmitter back on, and we are bound up again to it. All right, so pretty nice looking little warbird. I love, the P-51 Mustang is probably my favorite warbird that I've flown so far, a mini and micros, and I love the red tail paint scheme on it because it makes it really visible in the air. So, sub 250 gram, guys. So the manual even tells you which screws to use. On the assembly, you have the main wing slots into the fuselage. You do have connectors for your aileron servos and your LED lights on the wings that you need to plug in. It's explained in the manual. The landing gear just slots into the plastic keepers. You've got a single screw after you slide the horizontal stabilizer elevator assembly in. It's got a single screw that ties that in. Like I said, the back of the wing slots in the fuselage, and then you've got a keeper up front with a screw for the main wing. You've got a screw that the motor and everything is already installed, but you got to install the prop and the spinner. The prop is held on by a nut, where the wrench comes in really handy, and then a single screw that holds the spinner assembly on it. So everything, once I got it all assembled, plugged it in, bound up to it, everything was working just fine. So I'm really looking forward. I'm hoping to have the weather to put this in the air midweek. So stay tuned for that. I've been waiting for this for so long, and I know a lot of you have too, because I read your comments. And so there's a lot of people that have commented that they were so wanting to find a brushless sub 250 gram warbird. Well, now there is one. All right, so thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.